First story. I let my stepdaughter bully my daughter, believed the pregnancy rumor the stepdaughter created, and forced my daughter to take the test. Then told her to move on without punishing my stepdaughter. And for that, my entitled daughter uninvited my stepdaughter from her wedding. So I canceled supporting her wedding and sent my stepdaughter on a vacation with a wedding fund. Now I'm regretting it. I 56M have 2 daughters, 1 biological, 1 stepdaughter. My biological daughter, Anna 25F, is from my first marriage, which ended when she was around 12. I remarried 2 years later to my wife, Mary 49F, who had a daughter, Kyla 26F, from her previous marriage. I've raised Kyla like my own. She moved in with us full-time, and the girls were just a year apart. So we hoped they'd bond over school, music, friends, and all that stuff. That never happened. From day one, Anna had an attitude with Kyla. I chalked it up to jealousy, teen hormones, and typical blended family friction. I sent them both to a top private school. I've always prioritized education. It wasn't cheap, but I never wanted either of them to say they didn't have the same opportunities. I paid for tutors, extracurriculars, and even summer camps abroad. I wanted to give them a life I never had growing up. The problem was Anna never made an effort to fit in. She always claimed Kyla was bullying her, but the things she described sounded like teenage gossip or misunderstandings. Kyla was well-liked, outgoing, and popular. She was a natural leader and often volunteered at school. Teachers and counselors had nothing negative to say about her. Meanwhile, Anna seemed constantly angry, withdrawn, and obsessed with trying to prove Kyla was out to get her. One big incident I remember, Anna was maybe 15. Kyla came to us saying she was worried Anna might be pregnant. She'd overheard something at school and felt obligated to tell us. Mary and I were concerned and sat Anna down to ask. She blew up, screaming that we didn't trust her and that Kyla was lying to sabotage her. We asked her to take a test just to be sure, and she acted like we'd committed a crime. It came back negative, but Anna didn't let it go. After that, Anna demanded to live full-time with her mother. I was heartbroken. Our custody was originally 50-50ths, but she changed it to every other weekend. She blamed everything on Kyla, and I started feeling like I couldn't win. Every time I tried to bring her into family dinners, holidays, or vacations, she had an excuse. Then came college. I supported her financially all the way through tuition, rent, living expenses, even when we barely spoke. She never called unless she needed something. I didn't complain. I figured she'd grow up, and we could rebuild once she saw things more clearly. Meanwhile, Kyla thrived. She graduated early, got into a top-tier university, landed a job at a major PR firm, and even started her own side business. She never once asked me for money. She calls me Dad. We watch football together on Sundays. I've helped her get a condo and co-signed on her first car. She's been respectful, grateful, and present. That's the difference. Now fast forward to the last few years, Anna got engaged to this guy Louis 26M. I didn't even know about him until 2 years into their relationship. I met him once over lunch, and then again at a holiday gathering. He seemed decent and polite, but Anna kept me at arm's length. I didn't take it personally. I know we've been strained, but it stung to be kept out of her life like that. About 3 months ago, Anna told me they're having a destination wedding next spring, a beach ceremony in Southern Europe. Classy setup, hotel accommodations covered. Guests only have to pay airfare. I was happy for her, and even offered to help pay for some of the costs, which she accepted. A few weeks after that, she sent out her guest list. That's when I noticed Kyla's name wasn't on it. I thought it was a mistake at first. Maybe she'd forgotten. But when I asked about it, she said very matter-of-factly that Kyla wasn't invited. I asked her why. She said, "You know why?" I said, "No, I don't. This is your stepsister. She's family." That turned into a week-long fight. I asked her, calmly at first, to reconsider. She refused. She said Kyla made her life hell in high school, and that she wasn't going to pretend otherwise just to keep appearances. I reminded her that this is a wedding, not a high school reunion. People change. You put the past behind for the sake of family. She refused again. Mary tried calling her. Kyla texted her directly, saying she had no hard feelings and would attend if invited, but wouldn't be offended if she wasn't. Kyla was actually trying to be the bigger person. But Anna was firm. She even got her mother involved, who of course backed her 100%. This past week, I told Anna, if she's going to exclude Kyla, I'm not paying for the wedding, and I won't attend. Her response: fine. Then her mother jumped in and said, we'll pay for everything. Like it was some competition. I've got my mother and my sister now telling me to let it go and attend the wedding. But I can't support something that goes against everything I believe about family. You don't just pick and choose who counts as real family based on teenage grudges. I reminded my daughter that I raised Kyla from the time she was 13. I was there for both of them, financially and emotionally. Even when Anna decided she didn't want anything to do with this family. I didn't walk away. I didn't cut her off. I was still there. Birthdays, tuition, holidays, I showed up. Even when I got cold treatment in return. And now I'm being told that the daughter who's called me dad for over a decade isn't welcome at the wedding. That I'm supposed to smile and pretend it's okay to exclude her because of something that happened when they were 14 and 15. Anna keeps bringing up these horrible things Kyla did back then. But I remember that time. It was drama. Gossip. Teenage nonsense that escalated because neither of them knew how to deal with each other. I saw both sides. Kyla was never malicious. She was reactive, yes, she wasn't perfect. But Anna acted like the victim in every situation, even when she pushed people away. And let's talk about those incidents she keeps mentioning. The pregnancy scare. Kyla overheard Anna talking to a friend and mentioned it to us. She was concerned, not conniving. We asked Anna to take a test because we were scared too. She acted like we were accusing her of a crime. The Rumour's high school is full of them. Was Kyla involved? Maybe. But Anna wasn't exactly innocent. She spread stories about Kyla too. I remember one time the school called us because Anna said Kyla cheated on her SATs, completely unprovoked. That part never comes up in her version of events. The boy, she claims Kyla paid to spread a rumor. No evidence. Just more hearsay. No one was punished. No school consequences. She didn't even bring it to us when it happened. She brought it up years later when she wanted to justify going full-time to her mom's. And I let her. I didn't fight her on it. I didn't drag her to court. I let her choose, and I stayed available when she wanted to see me. And now, after all that, she's acting like cutting Kyla out of the wedding is self-care or some kind of healing move. It's not. It's petty. It's vindictive. And I won't co-sign it. I told her last week if she wants to exclude Kyla, that's her call. But I won't fund a wedding that's built around division. I won't sit at a beach resort watching my stepdaughter stay behind like some stranger when she's been nothing but respectful to me for the last 13 years. Anna said, "She makes me angry. I don't want to fake anything on my wedding day." I said, "Then don't fake it. Be civil. It's one day." She said, "I don't have a single good memory with her." I said, "That's your choice." Mary was furious after that call. Kyla cried when she found out because she felt like the scapegoat again. She told me not to fight about it and said it wasn't worth ruining our relationship with Anna over it. But the thing is, there is no relationship left. Not really. Anna checks in when she needs something. Otherwise, we're strangers. She built that wall. And when I finally said, "Then I'm not going," she didn't flinch. She didn't try to compromise. She said, "Fine," and hung up. So here I am. Watching my only biological daughter plan her wedding without me. My own family telling me to bite my tongue and show up for peace. But I've spent over a decade swallowing my pride and watching Anna take shots at Kyla and act like I'm the bad guy for not picking her side. Enough. She made her choice. I made mine. I won't apologize for standing up for my family, all of my family. Kyla may not be her sister by blood, but she's mine in every way that counts. And if that costs me a seat at my daughter's wedding, so be it. Ada. Comments. Comment 1. YTA. And you know it. You keep throwing around family unity like it's a shield. But what you're really doing is rewriting history to avoid facing the fact that your golden stepdaughter made your actual daughter's life miserable, and you did nothing about it. You still aren't doing anything about it. You're enabling it again by pretending it was just teenage drama. Kyla didn't just roll her eyes at Anna, she started pregnancy rumors, said she had an abortion, and paid a guy to lie about a sex act in class. That's not high school gossip, man. That's harassment. That's reputation-destroying cruelty. And now you're punishing Anna, again, for not playing happy family with the girl who emotionally tormented her. Let's be honest. This was never about Kyla's feelings. It was about yours. You want to be seen as the patriarch holding the family together, even if it means steamrolling your daughter's boundaries. You wanted the wedding to be a showpiece of how together your blended family is. And Anna pulled the curtain back on your fantasy. She said no. And instead of sitting in that discomfort, you made it about loyalty and principles. You're abandoning your daughter on her wedding day to prove a point, and it's not the one you think it is. Comment 2. Big fat YTA. What really gets me is how you act like you were neutral back then. You weren't. You just ignored anything that forced you to see your perfect stepdaughter in a bad light. Let's be real. You traded your daughter's well-being for peace in your new household. You didn't protect her. You didn't believe her. And now that she's drawing a line and saying, "I don't want my bully at my wedding," you're calling her divisive. Get the F out of here with that. You say Kyla cried when she found out she wasn't invited. Cool. Anna cried for years. Alone. While you were co-signing her humiliation with your silence. You had a choice to show up for your daughter's biggest day and let her feel safe for once. Instead, you chose the image of unity. You're more invested in a fake family photo than your daughter's peace. At this point, I don't even think you care about the wedding. You care that it won't feature the version of your family you've been selling yourself for the last 10 years. Comment 3. I'm a dad myself, have been through a remarriage, and have raised 2 kids from separate marriages under the same roof. I've seen some brutal fights between step-siblings, and let me tell you, perception is everything. I'm not going to defend everything Kyla did that rumor stuff. Way over the line if it really happened the way your daughter said. But I also know that kids twist things. They assign motive where there may be none. One bad story gets retold a dozen times and gets worse every time. I've had both my daughters swear the other was the devil. That said, OP, you should have stayed neutral. You let Kyla become the favored one. Not just in your eyes, but in how you talk. Even now, you call Anna withdrawn and angry and Kyla respectful and grateful. You don't hide the favoritism. That's probably part of why Anna went full-time to her mom's. She felt like an outsider in her own house. Anna is clearly still hurt. But disinviting Kyla from the wedding was probably just as much about testing you as it was about boundaries. You failed that test. And now everyone's hurt. Hope that was worth it. Update. I stood my ground. I thought maybe after we both cooled off, Anna would come back to her senses and realize this wasn't about choosing Kyla over her. It was about expecting basic respect for the family she was born into and the family she gained when I remarried. But things went downhill fast. First, Kyla asked to talk to me privately. She said she hated watching the situation get worse, and that she didn't want to be the reason I missed the wedding. Then she admitted something that honestly blindsided me. She told me she did do some of the things Anna accused her of back in high school. She didn't pretend otherwise, didn't sugarcoat it. She said she spread a rumor or two during a fight. Said she repeated something about the pregnancy scare that she shouldn't have. And said she may have encouraged a boy to joke around, because she and Anna were fighting that week. She said it wasn't out of cruelty. It was teenage stupidity, but she apologized. Not for my sake, but because she didn't want me defending things that weren't entirely clean. It stung, I won't lie. But I also know teenagers. I know how ugly they can get with each other when jealousy, insecurity, and blended family dynamics are at play. Kyla didn't deny one thing meanwhile. Anna acts like a saint who did nothing, ever. Kyla owned her part. Anna never has. That difference matters to me. After that, I decided to give Anna one last chance to have an adult conversation. I called her. I kept my voice calm. I said, "Listen, I know things were rough between you two growing up. Kyla regrets some of it. But excluding her from your wedding is extreme. I want to attend, but I'm not going to show up at an event where my own family is treated like they're strangers." She cut me off before I finished the sentence. She said she didn't want fake apologies, didn't want Kyla trying to clear her conscience, and that Kyla admitting something now doesn't erase years of hell. Then she said the part that honestly made me check out completely. "You can come. She can't. That's final." I said, "Then that's goodbye, Anna." She replied, "Then goodbye." And she hung up. 3 days later, a package arrived at my office addressed to me. Inside were checks I'd written throughout her college years, folded up birthday cards with money removed, a watch I gave her for her 21st, and even a bracelet I gave her at graduation. There was no note, just everything thrown in like garbage. I showed Mary. She was furious. I showed Kyla. She looked sad. I saw it for what it was. A petty message meant to hurt me. But ironically, it clarified everything. If she wants to erase everything I ever gave her, then fine. I won't force a relationship on someone who clearly wants a clean break. Wedding week came. Obviously, I wasn't invited, not even as a last-minute olive branch. Kyla wasn't invited. Mary wasn't invited. That confirmed to me that Anna never wanted a family wedding. She wanted a staged event where she could pretend the past never existed and control who counts. So instead of sitting at home like some exile, we decided to travel. Kyla suggested a place she's always loved, Santorini. We booked a last-minute luxury stay. No guilt, no shame, just peace. We posted photos because we had nothing to hide: sunset views, boat tours, dinner overlooking the cliffs. It was a great trip. Well, that apparently set off a bomb. Anna saw the photos. Her aunt called me 2 days after the wedding, screaming over the phone. She said Anna had a full breakdown during the reception after someone showed her the pictures. According to her, the ceremony had to pause for several minutes because Anna was crying so hard she couldn't say her vows. Guests were confused. Some relative thought something medical had happened. The aunt accused me of tormenting Anna on her wedding day. And I'm sitting there wondering what planet these people live on. Anna disinvited us. Anna cut contact. Anna mailed back gifts. What exactly did they expect us to do? Sit at home staring at the walls, waiting for updates like obedient pets? Did she want us to suffer publicly so she could feel morally superior? Her aunt said Anna thought at least you'd stay low-key that day. For what? Out of punishment? To perform misery for her comfort? That's not happening. I'm not putting my life on pause so my daughter can feel like she won something. I told her aunt. She's the one who kicked me out, not the other way around. I'm not going to spend my day miserable because she wants to pretend her step-family doesn't exist. I didn't ruin her wedding, she did that to herself by turning it into a loyalty test. Her aunt yelled that I was being childish, that I should have been the adult and stayed home. I told her Anna was being entitled, expecting me to behave like a grounded teenager, waiting to be invited to a birthday party. I'm not doing that. The aunt said Anna cried that I didn't want to be there. That's the part that pissed me off the most. She didn't want me there. She wanted a version of me who doesn't exist, a man who abandons part of his family to soothe her ego. I told the aunt exactly this. How can I show up to a place where my wife and stepdaughter aren't welcome? You don't ask a man to abandon the people who stand by him every day for someone who only remembers him when convenient. She hung up after that. From what I heard, Anna didn't reach out either. She didn't text, didn't call, and didn't say anything to me. But she apparently cried to everyone else about how I chose the wrong daughter. No. I chose the daughter who didn't weaponize a wedding to manipulate everyone. Kyla has been supportive the entire time. She even told me she feels guilty for being at the center of it, which she isn't. Anna put herself at the center because she refuses to let go of her teenage baggage. I'm done. I wish her a great marriage and a great life, but I won't be part of it. I'm not chasing someone who treats me like an accessory they can return whenever they feel bitter. She wanted distance. She got it. And I'm not apologizing for enjoying my life, instead of sitting at home, waiting for permission to exist. Comments. Comment 1. Oh, you're mad she returned your money and gifts. Boo effing who? You're not hurt because she disrespected your generosity, you're pissed that you can't hold it over her head anymore. She sent a clear message. She doesn't want your help if it means you get to rewrite history. You think showing up to her wedding with Kyla would have kept the peace? No. It would have turned her entire day into a panic attack. You're still pretending Kyla's past doesn't matter because it's inconvenient for your ego. And the fact that you called your daughter repulsive for crying on her wedding day? That's sick. You didn't go to celebrate her. You didn't stay quiet. And you didn't reflect no. You vacationed like a bitter ex, flaunted it online, and then acted surprised that she broke down. You're not the main character here. You're the dad who couldn't be bothered to protect his kid when it mattered. You think she's entitled? Nah, she's just done begging for scraps of your attention. Good for her. Comment 2. My dad did the same SHT, married a new woman, had a stepkid, and suddenly I was the difficult one when I didn't magically bond with my new sibling. Anytime I raised concerns, I was told I was overreacting. That SHT sticks. OP, the part that really hits me is how you framed the wedding. It wasn't about showing up for your daughter, it was about what message it sent to Kyla. That's how your mind works. You see everything as a scoreboard. Your daughter's wedding wasn't a PR moment for your blended family. It wasn't a courtroom where you needed to represent both sides. It was her one day to feel safe and celebrated. And you made it about proving a point. And for the record, that vacation post wasn't just tone deaf, it was cruel. You knew she'd see it. Don't pretend you didn't. If you had any empathy left, you'd have stayed offline. But deep down, you wanted her to feel your absence. Mission accomplished. And now she knows exactly where she stands. Comment 3. You keep saying you raised Kyla like your own, but I didn't see one line about ever protecting Anna like your own. You don't see it, but everything in your post drips with favoritism. Kyla is grateful, mature, a leader, and Anna is angry, withdrawn, bitter. Maybe because you never gave her space to just be hurt. Kyla fessed up to bullying Anna, and your takeaway was, see, she owned it, so we're good. Bro, no. That admission should have broken you. That was your daughter's trauma finally validated, and instead, you used it to push your narrative even harder. You didn't want reconciliation. You wanted submission. You wanted Anna to suck it up, smile for the photos, and keep quiet like always. And when she didn't, you chose your stepdaughter over your own blood again. That wasn't about family unity. That was about keeping your comfort zone intact. Enjoy your sunset pics and Instagram likes. Update. I never expected to be writing another update. But life has a way of cornering you when you least expect it. It's been a while, over a year since the wedding incident, and a lot has changed. Some things for the better, some not. First, Kyla got married. Her husband is a good man, a quiet type, and very grounded. I walked her down the aisle. She cried. I cried. In that moment, I couldn't help thinking how I didn't get that with Anna. I didn't get to see her nervous smile, or help fix her veil, or whisper something reassuring before walking into a room full of people waiting for her. That realization hit harder than I expected. Kyla and her husband have been trying to have a baby. They lost 2 pregnancies already. The last one was at 10 weeks. Watching her break down on the bathroom floor, while I held her like she was a little girl again, is something I'll never forget. Mary cried too. Kyla tried to be strong and told us she'd keep trying, but the truth is she's struggling emotionally. I won't tolerate anyone vilifying her. She's been through enough, and she's not the bully my daughter made her out to be. She's human and hurting. Through all this, I've found myself thinking more and more about grandchildren. Not because I want some legacy continuation nonsense, but because holding a child again. I guess that hits differently when you're older. When Kyla's miscarriages happened, I felt the loss not just for her, but for the grandchild I never got to meet. And that feeling made me realize something I didn't expect. I want to be a grandfather. I want to teach a kid how to ride a bike, take them fishing, and fall asleep on the couch with them drooling on my shirt. But Kyla can't guarantee she'll be able to carry to term, and she's grieving that reality. That's around the time I found out through a cousin, not directly, that Anna had a baby. A little boy. Healthy. Full term. Apparently, she gave birth 3 months ago. I didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't know anything. My cousin showed me a picture from her husband's sister's Facebook. There was Anna, holding a newborn, looking exhausted but glowing in a way I've never seen. Louis was next to her, smiling. They looked like a family. A family I'm not part of. Something cracked open inside me. Not anger, not jealousy, regret. Real regret. I haven't been able to focus at work since. I'm already overloaded with responsibilities, meetings, and deadlines. The company is going through restructuring, so the tension is constant. But the moment I saw that photo, all of that faded into background noise. I kept imagining myself retired someday, sitting alone in a big house that echoes. No daughter. No grandchildren visiting. No laughter. Just me, replaying every stubborn choice that got me here. And yes, I know how that sounds. I'm not pretending I'm some tragic hero. I'm not pretending I didn't cause damage. But damn it, I'm also human. I hurt too. Everyone always talks about what Anna went through, and I'm not denying it. She went through hell as a teenager. She deserved better support. But nobody ever turns around and says, what about the father who spent years trying to hold 2 girls together who hated each other? What about the man who did his best, made mistakes, but still loved them both? I had to watch my daughter look at me like I was the enemy. I had to swallow every cold shoulder, every forced holiday visit, every moment where I felt like I was being punished just for existing. And then she asked me to uninvite one daughter I loved to celebrate the other. I was supposed to pick one. No father wants to be in that position. I know now I handled it wrong. I let pride and anger control me. Taking that trip during her wedding weekend was petty. Posting photos was worse. I should have gone. I should have shown up alone. I should have been the adult she needed, even if it meant walking on hot coals socially. I get it now. But Anna still refuses to acknowledge that she hurt me too. That returning all my gifts wasn't some empowering gesture, it was cruel. It felt like someone ripping years out of a scrapbook and throwing them in the trash. I want to reach out. I want to hold my grandson. I want to forgive her and be forgiven. I want to shake Louis' hand and tell him I'm proud of him for stepping up as a father. But I don't know how to do it in a way that doesn't look like I'm only coming back because of the baby. Money won't bridge this. Showing up uninvited is not an option. I've tried the just show effort rap before, and it blew up in my face. I asked Mary what she'd do. She said, apologize without defending yourself. I've never been good at that. I always feel the need to explain my side, because my side matters too. My pain wasn't imaginary. Kyla supports me, surprisingly. She said, Dad, you need Anna in your life. And that baby needs you. I won't be threatened by that. She even cried when she said it. For all the accusations thrown at her online, she's trying harder than anyone to heal this rift. But every time I draft a message to Anna, I freeze. I don't want to ruin her peace. I don't want her thinking I'm barging in for selfish reasons. I want to approach her as a father who messed up and wants his daughter back, not as a man chasing a grandchild because he's afraid of dying alone. I miss her. I miss the version of us before everything got poisoned. And I'm tired of pretending that time will magically fix this. I don't want my grandson to grow up knowing his grandfather as nothing but a name he overhears in hushed conversations. I'm ready to apologize. I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to take responsibility. I'm just terrified it's too late. If anyone has advice on how to reach out without causing more harm, I'll take it. I'm done hiding behind anger. I want my daughter back. Comments. Comment 1. You weren't remorseful when you blasted her for excluding your precious stepdaughter. You weren't remorseful when you skipped her wedding. You weren't remorseful when she was crying during her vows while you were sipping wine on a Greek island. But now that you've got no grandkid from Kyla, you're suddenly drowning in guilt. Dude, come on. This isn't a Hallmark movie. You missed your shot. You chose your side and built your new family and made it clear she wasn't part of it. What hurts now is that she believed you. Don't lie to yourself. This isn't about healing. It's about regret. And the fact that your version of a reunion still involves her acknowledging your hurt shows you're not actually ready to repair anything. You want access, not accountability. If she keeps you away, that's not punishment. That's protection. Comment 2. You didn't write this update because of some deep spiritual awakening. You wrote it because you saw a baby that wasn't yours to hold and realized you F'd around too long. And now you want in, but only because the other option dried up. You say that's not the reason, but it's very convenient timing. You call Anna returning gifts cruel, but you kicked her out of her own wedding and vacationed publicly to make a point. You abandoned her, tried to humiliate her, and now you're wondering why she doesn't return your calls. You're not asking for forgiveness. You're asking for access. That baby isn't a healing opportunity, it's leverage in your mind. You're just not bold enough to admit it. If Anna takes you back, it's a gift. But I wouldn't blame her for slamming that door shut forever. Comment 3. I'm going to give you this. You're trying. That puts you a step ahead of a lot of parents I know. And it's clear you've been humbled by all this. That's good. But if you want real advice, drop the both sides were hurt angle. That's your ego talking. You're not Piers. You're her father. You had the responsibility, not her. Even now, you're walking into this thinking you deserve forgiveness because you're hurting. That's not how it works. You should be showing up saying, I failed you. I didn't protect you. And I don't deserve a second chance. But I hope for one anyway. No. But you hurt me too. No, you shouted no. You didn't acknowledge my side. None of that. Because all of those are true. But they came after years of silence and favoritism from your end. Don't center your pain in your apology. Center hers. Then maybe you'll get a chance to hold that baby. Second story. I worked my arse off to save some money. And my entitled parents gave the same amount to my golden child sister because she struggled more. Then claimed I'm jealous and can't be happy for my sister for pointing out the favoritism. I don't even know how to process this, so I'm just going to type it out. I'm 28F. My sister Elsa is 22F. We're in Stockholm. Our parents are Gunnar and Birgit, and I always thought they were pretty fair with us growing up. Maybe I was wrong. So for the past 2 years, I've been saving for a trip to Japan. It's been my dream since I was a teenager. I'm a children's book illustrator, so I don't make amazing money, but I've been budgeting hard. Skipping coffees, not buying new clothes, meal prepping every week. I've saved about 45,000 SEK, which is like almost $4,300 USD. I was so proud of myself. I'm finally booking the trip for April. Yesterday my parents announced in our family group chat that they're giving Elsa 45,000 SEK as a graduation gift for finishing her certificate program. A 6-month certificate program, like office administration or something. When I graduated from university with my illustration degree 4 years of work, they took me to dinner and gave me a card with 500 SEK in it. I called my mum to ask about it. Tried to stay calm. Asked why the difference. She said it's not the same situation. That Elsa struggled more with school and they wanted to celebrate her finally finishing something. That I always had it easier academically, so I didn't need the same encouragement. I didn't have it easier. I worked part-time through my entire degree. I took out loans. I just didn't complain about it constantly like Elsa does. So basically I'm being punished for not being a mess. I told my mum this felt really unfair, and she got defensive. Said I was making this about money, and that she thought I'd be happy for my sister. I am happy for her. But I'm also hurt. Those two things can exist at the same time. Elsa texted me later, saying she heard I was upset about her gift, and that she's sorry I feel that way. Not sorry about the situation. Sorry I feel that way. I've been crying on and off since yesterday. 2 years of sacrifice and discipline, and they just hand her the same amount like it's nothing. Like my effort means nothing. My dad hasn't said anything. He never does when mum makes decisions. I don't even know if he agrees, or if he just doesn't want to fight about it. Am I being petty about money, or is this actually unfair? Comments. Comment 1. She struggled more, so she deserves more logic is wild. Like, sorry for being competent. My bad for not collapsing every semester, I guess? Comment 2. Exactly. It's like all the hard work, sacrifices, and discipline over years just don't count because you didn't make a big show of struggling. Totally unfair. Comment 3. You aren't wrong for being upset. Elsa is clearly your mother's favorite. Expect the same kind of treatment if you have children. Hers will always get more time, attention, praise, gifts, and financial assistance. The same goes for inheritance. Expect it all to go to Elsa. You can't tell them how to spend their money. But when they're older and need help, they can look to Elsa for assistance. Comment 4. Yeah, the favoritism is loud. But the messed up part is OP's mum pretending it's some logical, neutral decision instead of just saying, I wanted to do this for Elsa. Like, at least own it. Gaslighting your kid while giving the other one a whole bag is crazy behavior. Comment 5. Question. Was the krona amount given to your sister just an arbitrary amount? Or did they choose your exact amount for a reason? OP, first off, do not let them take away your victory. You did an awesome thing, and you should be very proud of the savings accomplishment and your degree. If you squint really hard and twist your head just at the right angle, what they said about you being able to achieve where your sister could not is a compliment. Now, your parents are not going to change. This is who they are. You, though, can make some adjustments in how you relate to them. Stop sharing your accomplishments. No, you shouldn't have to. If what they are doing is trying to give your sister a level playing field with you, then stay stagnant. Don't share raises or bonuses. Don't share any big purchases. When you take this awesome trip, downplay the wonderfulness to them. Again, no, you shouldn't have to. If your parents stay on this course, everything you do and achieve will be handed to your sister. Extreme examples could be if you buy a car, they buy one for her. You buy a house, they make it possible for her to buy one too. Whether they are doing it out of some misguided version of equity, or because your sister runs to them all but third, it will still suck if you work to achieve, and she doesn't. You may as well give yourself a chance for some mental peace. Update. I posted a few days ago about my parents giving my sister Elsa 45,000 SEK for finishing a 6-month certificate program when I got 500 SEK for completing a 4-year university degree. A lot of you told me I wasn't being petty and that the favoritism was real. I needed to hear that. Here's what happened. I decided to talk to my dad directly. He usually stays out of things, but I thought maybe one-on-one he'd be honest with me. I asked him to meet me for coffee yesterday. I laid it all out. The difference in gifts. The years of feeling like Elsa got more support. The she struggled more justification basically punishes me for being responsible. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said something that broke me. Your mother, and I always knew you'd be fine. You're the strong one. Elsa needs more help. That's just how it is. I'm the strong one, so I get less. Because they decided when I was a kid that I didn't need them the same way. I asked him if he realized that being strong meant I just stopped asking for help because I knew I wouldn't get it. That I worked 25 hours a week through university, while Elsa's part-time job was too stressful, so they covered her expenses. That I've been financially independent since I was 22, while they still pay Elsa's phone bill. He looked uncomfortable. He said he never thought about it that way. That's the problem. They never thought about it at all. I told him I wasn't angry about the money specifically. I was angry about what it represented. A lifetime of being the kid they didn't worry about, which translated into being the kid they didn't invest in. He said he'd talk to my mum. Last night my mum called. I thought maybe she'd apologize. Maybe Dad got through to her. Instead, she said I had upset your father by making him feel guilty, and that I needed to let this go because it was ruining Elsa's celebration. Elsa's celebration. Still not about me at all. I told my mum I needed some space. That I loved them, but I couldn't pretend this didn't hurt. She said I was being dramatic and holding a grudge over money, and that she raised me better than this. I haven't responded. I don't know what to say. Elsa texted me this morning. Not an apology. She said, Mum told me you're upset about the money thing. I didn't ask them for it. They offered. It's not my fault they wanted to do something nice for me. She's right that she didn't ask. But she also didn't acknowledge that the disparity is real or that my feelings are valid. Just more, sorry you feel that way energy. I'm still going to Japan. I'm still proud of myself for saving that money on my own. But something has shifted. I think I finally see my family clearly, and I don't know if I can unsee it. OP commented right after the post. Something my dad said keeps echoing in my head. You're the strong one. I've heard versions of that my whole life. You're so independent. You always figure it out. We never have to worry about you. I used to think it was a compliment. Now I realize it was just an excuse. A way to justify giving me less attention, less support, less money, less everything. I wasn't born strong. I became strong because I had no other choice. Because every time I needed something, Elsa needed it more. Because I learned early that my problems were less important than hers. Comments. Comment. The "you're the strong one" line is so painfully common in families with a golden child dynamic. What it actually means is, we neglected you emotionally and financially. And instead of acknowledging that, we'll reframe it as a compliment about your character. You weren't born independent. You were made independent because they weren't there. That's not strength, that's survival. Fighting, OP. Comment 2. This is such a powerful breakdown of how that kind of language gets used to mask neglect. Reframing survival as strength doesn't make it any less painful, especially when it comes from the people who should have been there. You nailed it. OP wasn't strong by choice. They were just left to figure it out alone. Comment 2. Your dad's reaction showed a glimpse of awareness. But your mum doubling down makes it clear this dynamic has been entrenched for years. You're not ruining anything by pointing out a lifetime pattern. Protect your peace and stop expecting accountability from people who don't think they've done anything wrong. Comment 3. This is exactly it. That glimpse from the dad felt like the first real monument of truth. But the way the mum instantly shut it down just shows how deep the favoritism runs. OP's not the one causing drama. They're finally just seeing the pattern clearly and choosing peace over performing strength. Comment 4. She said I was being dramatic and holding a grudge over money, and that she raised me better than this. Turn around and tell her, no, Mum, you didn't raise me. You left me to raise myself. Then drop the rope. Gray rock wherever possible. Let them coddle your sister and continue to forge your own successful path. When they're old and needing help, turn around and tell them, I'll give you the same amount of help that you gave me growing up. Oh, that's right, you didn't. So now's the chance for Elsa to return all the help you gave her instead. Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.